Test Drivers Live. I'm your host this evening, like every Sunday, Mr.BetonYou. Tonight we have a topic that I think is going to be interesting for some. Not going to be new for many. But a lot's happened this year. I want to talk about some things, give you guys information, talk about what I'm hearing from other people, content creators' opinions. But also, tonight, I'm going to have my ears open. I don't know everything. I don't know it all. None of us do. I'm going to challenge some of us in some ways. It looks like I'll have a special guest, saying it like it is, Dino. Will be with us at some point. I'm going to share the StreamYard link. I'll have him come up, and then it will be open panel after him and I talk. So I think he has some opinions. He has a different perspective. And I want to hear from him. I want to hear from others. What are people saying about DoorDash specifically? And really, I think you could turn that into a lot of other apps. But listen, I am the resident DoorDash shill. It is what it is. That y'all been calling me that for a minute. Bentley don't even make videos anymore, I don't think. I am the DoorDash shill. So tonight, I'm going to play that role. I'm going to bring some facts. I'm going to use other people's words against them. I'm here to give you information. I'm here to listen first, though, because I realize my market and some of you guys' markets as well, maybe DoorDash has still been okay. There's been differences, but if you've been listening to my perspective and seeing what I've been doing over the last year and a half, you might be doing okay right now. If you didn't, that might be why we see a lot of people struggling, a lot of people leaving DoorDash for good reasons. I made a video last week, I think, last Saturday, why people are leaving DoorDash. And there are plenty of good reasons. But before we get into all of it, and before I say hi to the chat, I want to remind us all, content creators, viewers, dashers, of one thing, and we all know it, but we don't think about it when we spew garbage out of our mouths. And when I say content creators, I am including myself in that. So nobody get their feelings hurt here, okay? We're all big boys and girls. On one end, most of us say, well, Pedro, you realize most people that do DoorDash and watching your channel. You know that, right? How many people say that? How many content? You guys are only touching less than 10% of the audience, or this or that or whatever, right? So with that being said, we have people out here saying and claiming things that everything's bad, everybody's leaving, nobody's making money. But we only have the pulse of less than 10% of the people doing this work. Make that make sense. How can I come on a YouTube platform, have, not even 10% of the people that do this work, it's opinion and thoughts and perspective, and how can I claim to know what's really happening? Typically, if you look at things from a political landscape, a business landscape, the ones that are the loudest, the ones that do the most whining, complaining, those tend to be the ones that go to their legislators and want things passed. Does the minority speak for the majority? Is that where we're at in DoorDash right now? Is that where we're at in the country right now? We're having the minority speak for the majority. Now, that's not to say that the majority maybe isn't having similar issues that you and I are having with DoorDash or whatever app. But I am your DoorDash shill tonight. I'm going to play that role, but I'm going to listen. Because all the videos, DoorDash is done. DoorDash is dead. RIP DoorDash. DoorDash is slow. DoorDash is trash. 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 DoorDash. DoorDash. Doom. 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 Everybody's doing it. I made a video last Saturday. Why people are leaving the platform. Thought it was pretty factual. Think you guys understood it. What I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, that's one man's perspective. How can we as content creators speak for the 10% or less? We barely even have the pulse of the real dashers out there, in my opinion. That'd be like if content creators are political figures, that'd be like us as politicians saying, I talk to 10% of my community. I know what's going on. I want you to think about that for a second. Think about that. I'm including myself in it. That's why I just try to give you my perspective and try to entertain you and give you some relatability. I don't claim to know anything. If something pops up, I give you my opinion. I put it on the screen. Boom. That's what it is. So I will play the DoorDash Ill tonight. Dino from Saying It Like It Is will be up at some point. I saw his response. I want him to come up. I'm going to respect his opinion. I want to see what's going on. Does he even do DoorDash anymore? Is he still doing DoorDash? Has he pivoted? I feel like I don't know. I don't know. But based on a video that I'm seeing from many people out there and a lot of comments, DoorDash is maybe the worst it's ever been for people on our platform. Oh, hold on. I'm getting some feedback. So let me say hi to the chat. I'm going to play the DoorDash Ill tonight. DoorDash is paying me $1,000 to make this video. Dino for president. They're not paying me $1,000. Okay. I wish. Okay, let me see who's in the house tonight before I go too far. PPP, Sam Alexander, Diana Silvers, Devin, Van, Gig Bell Toes, appreciate you being a channel member, man. Erica, Sky Dasher, Jeff, Gig Wars Officials, what's up, Jeff? Johan, Biscuit, Juan, Fatah, Big Carl, what's up, bro? Appreciate you being a member. Little Yurt, Daphne, Dashing Across America, Chuck, what up, man? I got to get you a wrench. I don't know why you don't have one. Gig Wise, what's up, what up, what up? Big Carl, Brandon Diaz, Luis Dern, what's up, what's up? April, what's up? 100K delivery driver, what's up, Gig Apps was booming this week. Don't tell that to the people that hate DoorDash or the gig economy. Dog Chapman, what's up, Jen, Dog, I want to give you a shout out. I see some of your comments on my Deliver That videos. I appreciate the input. I mean that 100%. Thank you very much. I'm going to get into my Deliver That week too. Nomadic, what's up? I don't make anything with DoorDash. Cool. Paris, student, Gigwise, me neither. This Gigwise says me neither. And I'm going to get into that before. I got a little bit to say before I bring up our guest. Eric, what up? Exactly, it's less than 0. I don't think it's less than 0.01. But I don't know. Pedro wants smoke. It's not smoke. It's a conversation. I want to listen. Maybe I'm wrong. I got no problem putting pride and ego to the side. Maybe I'm missing something. I'll share my earnings with you guys tonight this week. Like maybe I'm missing something. But what I don't want to do is think that the negativity and the people that aren't having success is the majority. I don't believe that actually. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Saying it like it is, waiting for the I'm going to give it to you, Dino. I'm going to give it to you. Stand by. Chris, what up? Gig Gal, appreciate you being a member. Good afternoon, night, everybody. What's up? All right, so I talked about how perspective, I think, is important from a content creator standpoint and a community of drivers standpoint. I've definitely made enough videos that were negative about DoorDash. I get upset. I don't like the no tippers. I don't like this. But I've been very steady, and I also get a lot of heat for it. I look at the consumer in some ways and the spending habits and the disrespect they give us greater than DoorDash. And some of you won't agree with that, and that's okay. I think we can fight these big companies by taking care of each other and having a mutual understanding about what's going on in our communities versus relying on a billion-dollar entity to take care of me or a politician. I've always thought that. I've always said that. You can agree or disagree. So that's why I might have an issue with DoorDash and what they do. And sometimes they do good stuff. We'll get into some of the changes. But like, I'm not giving them like all the energy of holding them responsible for keeping my lights on and putting food in my daughter's stomach. That's not DoorDash's responsibility. Let me repeat that one more time for everybody in the back and everybody that's crying because they didn't make money tonight. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. That's what I do. I'm not pandering. I'm not going to give you a pacifier. I'm not going to give you a hug and tell you it's going to be okay. I'm going to listen to you before I do that because maybe it's not going to be okay. Does that make sense? So I don't expect a lot from a company. Just don't. I'm not an idiot. It's too naive to think that. So let's talk about some of the changes real quick. I'm going to give Dino a link here in just a couple of minutes. So obviously this week I made a couple of videos. And sometimes when changes happen, they get test piloted. They might have been somewhere else a year ago, but whatever. Nobody in that market had a channel. We didn't hear about it. Nobody talked about it, really. Okay. So when we talk about things within this community as content creators and viewers and things are sent my way, it's new to me. If it's new to me, I'm going to talk about it. So obviously we know about the acceptance rate to where if you get a stack run, and I've gotten them from fundraising churches, the Bailey Foundation in St. Louis, Gigwise knows what that is. There's a church off Gravois, Petco, PetSmart. You might have even got a triple or quadruple stack from Panera, and it shows you 8 orders, paying $20, going 20 miles. And it's trash. You probably shouldn't take that, right? Because maybe it takes you a couple hours to make $20. Trash. Absolute garbage. DoorDash can do better, but they don't have to for other reasons. We'll probably get into that at some point tonight. That used to sometimes, from what I understand, take your AR and you would hit significantly drop your AR. And for some of you guys, it's a big deal, depending on your market, depending on how you do DoorDash, full-time, part-time, Dash Now feature, whatever, tier program, diamond, whatever. Now, I feel like in some markets, now it's only going down by 1%. That's a win. I don't care who you are, that's a win. Dash preferences, several of you guys send me emails. Okay, I used Roy's email screenshot as an example on yesterday's video. You could toggle off alcohol, toggle on alcohol. You know, these aren't new in a lot of places, but for many of you guys, it's new. For many of you guys, it's new. Shop, you can just do shop and pay. You can just do this. You could turn off shop and pay, turn off cash on delivery, turn off alcohol. In my market, I can just turn off, opt out of cash on delivery. The other options aren't there. Now, I like shop and pay, but that's Dasher preferences. That's a win. If you're looking at that as a negative, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But the more control we have over an app, the better. Now, is that DoorDash's way of just trying to figure out what you want to do and what this and what that? Sure. Does it save them money? The less that I decline, the better for DoorDash. So the less orders they send me, okay? My acceptance rate will probably naturally go up if I don't like doing alcohol and shop and pay. We can all agree with that. So that's better for DoorDash, better for the consumer. Better for them in that they can save money. They don't have to up the base pay. Orders get facilitated quicker. They also don't have to give out refunds. Customers are happy. Customers order more as a volume level when they get stuff quick and there's no issues. So there's many, and for Dashers, hey, I don't want to see trash on my screen. So if I don't like alcohol on a Friday night and they keep sending me to Royals Liquor on Gravois and everything's $5 for 4 orders in a row, if I don't ever see those, maybe they send me something good. It's worth my time. I'm making more money. Dasher preferences is positive. It should be in every market. If you think differently, I'm not really sure why you do. So real quick, let me just I don't think I have anything else to really bring. I mean, that changes there. We know about, I've already said, and a lot of you guys don't like it. I think there's something to be said for acceptance rate mattering situationally in St. Louis. Let me just say that. If you read situationally, it matters in St. Louis. In your market, it might not. It is what it is. Catering's gone away for a lot of you guys for varying reasons, whether it's the merchants don't want to do business with DoorDash, which that's probably a thing in some cases. But then also, if you're not seeing them, it might be because you're in a tier program, your AR is low, you don't meet the requirements that DoorDash told you needed to meet. That sucks for you. I can see why you'd be mad. I've been I thought these things were going to happen, so I was trying to show some of y'all, like, this is what I'm doing. I'll put that Pride and Ego in the back. I might take a $5 run going 2 miles at 2 p.m. Like, I do that. I might turn off my app, pause my app. I do certain things if I'm around an area where I don't want to see stuff, so my AR isn't impacted. There's things you could do to move smart. I've added Curry. I've added DeliverThat. That was this week. Really good app so far. I got no problem with that app, right? Do a little bit more Instacart. There's ways around adapting and whatever. But for us to just continue to make the same videos, talking about the same shit with DoorDash, complaining, I'm not making money, I'm not making money, I'm not making money, I'm not making money. For us to sit in our cars and complain that DoorDash is the lower the base pay. They did that. Now I'm getting stacked orders. I hear you. What are you going to do about it? I've got to see the table with them. I want to try to do what I can for y'all and for whoever. But at the end of the day, if you ain't making money with DoorDash, stop bitching and go do something else. And that isn't at anybody. That's at all of us. There's times I've turned the app off myself. I'm like, you know what? My market ain't feeling it right now. Let me do something else. Instead of doing the same thing and expecting a different result, let's do something else. My earnings aren't that bad on DoorDash. I have bad days, bad moments, but it's pretty good. because I do shop and delivers, pizza program, Diamond Zone. It is what it is. The base pay for many of you guys is down. I still see $2 base pay, but I also see $11 base pay, $8 base pay, $7 base pay because of the shopping pay and other varying factors. So it is what it is. Tonight's video, I want to listen. I want to listen to Dino. I want him to come up with fire and bring the heat. I want Dino to come up and say, why is DoorDash, why is he so mad at him? And what ideas he might have that could benefit Dashers. Because DoorDash tells us exactly what they're doing. They tell you exactly what the numbers should be, what they expect, this, that. We all know immigrants, or whatever we want to call brown people that we assume are immigrants. And don't get me started on that. Okay? Don't get me started on that, because I'll lose a whole bunch of y'all as subscribers. Listen, it's an issue in many places, I'm sure. But if I see an Indian dude in St. Louis, does that mean he's an immigrant? How ignorant of that is me as a DoorDash driver? If I see two Indian dudes at Taco Bell like I saw the other night, is that dude an immigrant? Automatically, immigrants are taking my jobs. Some of us need to take a fucking chill pill, and we need to relax. And I know I'm going to lose some of y'all, and I respect that. But we have to start doing for us and stop worrying about what the dude across the street's doing. Too many of us are worried about the company and the dude across the street, and we're not focused on the things that we could do, our spending habits, our movements, our decision making. I'm feeling hot tonight, and I want Dino to come in and blast me. I want other people to come in and blast me. I'm going to listen. I'll do more listening than I do talking. I'm getting all my talking out of the way right now, mostly. And if something said is wild, but I want to listen to you guys, because I'm lost. I don't get it. A lot of us are looking in the wrong direction for answers. Let me share the link before I say something I'm going to regret, or before YouTube cancels me. I'm an immigrant and then became American. Yeah, what's that? You looking busted. I don't know what that means. Aliens took Pedro wants people to blast him. You know what I mean, y'all. I'm actually in a really good mood. I like to have these conversations. I like to learn shit. I'm one dude in St. Louis. My market's pretty good. GigWise is in my market. He doesn't like DoorDash. Big Carl, they don't like DoorDash, but they do other things to make money. So the money here, the money in St. Louis is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to know what app you like, and the money in here is good. So I know that. But man, I'm just like, all the whining and the crying, and like, I might whine about a no-tip customer because that's just another human being that's treated me disrespectful. I don't give a fuck with DoorDash. Like, DoorDash is not my problem. DoorDash shouldn't be yours either. That's the conversation I want to have tonight. Okay, let me put this link in real quick. So I'm looking for Dino and Dino only, but I will have the link open as we start talking. I'll share it, and the other people can come in. If you want to wait in the back room, that's cool. But I want to give the Dino the respect, since he called me out first on another channel. I heard about it. And then I called him out, said, let's talk. Let's I'm gonna challenge you, Dino. So this is me and him right now. Okay. Y'all funny. All right, hold up. Let me get in here real quick. Hold on. Let me share it. But the immigrant thing to me, it's a fascinating thing. And I think if anybody wants to have a real conversation about that, I'm ready and knowledgeable enough to have that. Because I think some of us are ignorant. I think ignorance is an appropriate word. It'd be ignorant for me to assume that the 5 or 6 Indian guys that I saw this week in my market are immigrants or illegal immigrants. I think that's a very ignorant stance to take. Extremely ignorant, actually. And I will die on that hill. Does that mean there's not a problem? That's not what I'm saying. Listen to the words that I'm saying. Some of us have to stop assuming things and look at the bigger picture. And I think a lot of us don't do that. We need to have, and this is psychology, but we need to have somebody to point the finger at when times are tough. I get that. I'm empathetic to that. But if anybody wants to talk about that, we could talk about that later tonight. I might be live all night long. All right, let me share this. Because that's something that it fascinates me. It fascinates me, the sheep mentality of what we see on the news versus, and how we implement that into what we see on our markets, and how we assume so much. It's it makes me angry, man. I can't lie to y'all. It makes me angry. Hold on. I don't. We're smarter than that, man. We should be smarter than that. Hold on. Shit. Hold on. I hit the wrong button. Oh, copy. There we go. All right. I think Dino's waiting. Dino, sorry to keep you waiting that long, man. But I want to get all that out. So you got a head start on me, man. You already know what I'm feeling. You come in here and I want to hear your perspective as to why DoorDash is the big bad wolf. Gigwise, listen, man. I saw 2 orders tonight. I heard it, didn't even see them, but I got an email from DeliverThat, so I think I know what you're talking about. We'll get into that. All right. Hold up. Let me find shit. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, I see him. There he is. Okay. I don't need to pin it. We're good. Let me bring Dino up.
Hey, good evening.
Dino, saying it like it is. How are you, sir?
Good evening, everybody. How's it going tonight?
Good, man. I want to change this banner behind us real quick. Hold on one second. Let me change this so that we're not looking at all that. Let's make it okay, I think that's a little bit better. And then let me go. We're gonna go there. Okay. So Dino, listen. First, I want to say you're one of the first channels I watched. I commented on some of your stuff. You might not remember. I was like, man, you remind me of my uncle. Where are you from?
Yep, I remember all that. Yeah.
A fan, and still am a fan. So just because we disagree doesn't mean I don't respect you. I want to get that out the way. However, I want to hear your perspective on DoorDash in your market. Are you still doing it? Why do you hate them? And what are some solutions that you might have that might help us right now? Like, I want to hear from you. I'm ready to listen a little bit.
All right. So before we begin, though, I think you on your short, you left a cheap shot against me, trying to call me an old grumpy old guy that cannot make him. Do you know when you were making that remark? Did you assume that I was doing DoorDash? That I'm doing DoorDash right now?
No, I have no idea. I'm making that slide comment because grumpy old man's just a thing. Like, I'm a grumpy old man. I'm 42, so it's a little shot, but you're a big man. I know you can handle it. I know you're not easily offended. But I said it. Yeah, I meant it. But I have no idea. The reason I want you on here is because I feel like a lot of the videos I watch, when I was making my content in the beginning, I was a little more negative than now. I'm still kind of negative, but people call me a shill. I try to be a little more positive. I try to but your videos have always kind of been like, DoorDash is evil, Walmart's evil, Uber. So nothing's changed on your end. And that always kind of fascinated me. So I always thought, like, Dino seems like a smart dude. He's been in the restaurant industry. He talks about the places he worked. Like, you got a nice home out there. Like, you're not stupid. So, like, I always wonder, like, why is he still working these apps if they're trash? That was always something that just kind of fascinated me.
Well, the reality is that I started making it in my market since September of 2023. That was my last day doing DoorDash.
Okay.
And after that, I was making it with Spark until today. And I've been making it since the end of September until today. I'm way happier, less miles on my vehicle, less gas, less traffic, less headaches. And I'm making double the money that I was making for years working on DoorDash.
So in your market, Spark's not oversaturated yet?
Now it's getting oversaturated right now. And it's affecting, all the platforms are being affected right now. Mm. So all the gig economy companies are not at fault right now at this minute, completely. It's the economy, the inflation right now, and the customers mostly, the issues right now that are happening with all the gig apps. It's the tip. Customers are not tipping. But the video that I made, my last video that I made, I didn't mention your name though. Mm-hmm. I did not mention you. You noticed that, right? I didn't say paid or anywhere on my video or anything.
Yeah, sure. So let me ask you a question.
You pick up some things that, oh, he watched my video. But I didn't put out your name though. And which channel? I said gig economy creators. Mm-hmm. In plural, meaning in general.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to go after you specifically, because if I'm trying to do that, I would mention your name and your channel, which I didn't.
Oh yeah, I don't think you're trying to go after me, and I'm not. When I say content creators, we're speaking in general, like we're just broadly. We see things, and you and I might see the same things, and we see this. you know, we know who those 20 to 30 content creators are that most people kind of watch. Like, it's not, I don't take that personal, but I think it's more like, why? So if you haven't done DoorDash since September, how do you know it's bad?
Okay. Now, the video where I made the video, what I talk about in the video is that the responses that I got from 20 other drivers, excluding myself. So I was not talking about my experience. I was talking about the answers and results I got from asking 20 of the Spark drivers where I work, because I see them every day. We're like, you know, friends in a way, because we see each other, we hang out. You have to be at the hot spot. You got to be outside. We have coffee, we have soda, we hang around and we talk. So the DoorDash topic came up with one of the drivers there. And that's how I started listening in, and I joined the conversation. And then after about a week, I figured, why I don't ask these drivers why they do not want to do DoorDash, and strictly they're doing just Spark, while they do have the Instacart app. I asked them, they have the Uber Eats app, and they also have the DoorDash app. And these are all DoorDash drivers before they started doing Spark. All of them. With the exception of three people, they worked at an office and they straight into Spark. So they have no prior DoorDash experience or any of that. But the majority of them are DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub drivers. Instacart too. So the question I asked they gave me the reasons why they don't like DoorDash or they hate DoorDash. But the number one reason is the money. It doesn't pay. That was the answer I got from them. That they're making more money with Spark. So even though they hate on DoorDash, they're not sitting back and saying and still doing DoorDash and complain. They moved on. They're all doing Spark. So they're making double their money. But they are hating on DoorDash, but they are making double and triple their money. So that I felt kind of like, how are they wrong? If you're saying that they're wrong, if they're haters of DoorDash and they're wrong, how can they be wrong if they're making double their money now? Even today, I asked them today, because I know we were going to be on a live stream, and asked them the same thing. What's the first thing that comes in your mind? It's like, it's the pay. That's the number one reason.
Now, let me ask you a question. And first off, thanks to the chat. Thanks, Thunder. Appreciate that. But Dino, let me ask you a question. When you say pay, do you think those drivers are you focusing on the base pay and how it's low and things like that, and maybe the mileage just doesn't make sense for the base pay? Or are you talking about just pay overall, base pay and tips and the overall earning capability with DoorDash?
The way they explain it to me is the overall pay that they get, because it's the $2 and $3 for 10 miles. That's how they explain it to me.
Yeah.
It's the $2 and $3 offers that they end up getting at the end of that offer when it's completed. And for them, it's like it's not worth it. And they, like I said, they also added other reasons where they don't show you the tip. Like, and you mentioned that they don't show you the customer's name. Sometimes they don't show the address, depending on your market. So there was a lot of other reasons, but the top reason is the money.
Yeah.
And they are making, and I'm seeing it myself, I'm making double the money that I used to make. And if I'm hating on DoorDash, like, how can I be wrong that I'm making double my money? I got to be right, because I'm making more than I did before.
Yep. That's fair. I mean, that's your perspective. I mean, and listen, I got to say this.
Your video backs up my video, because you made a video, and you mentioned it tonight and other days. You made a video why DoorDash Dashers are leaving the platform in 2024. And your reasons back up my video. You gave reasons why they're hating, and you said they have good reasons for it. And you mentioned, actually, you did something even better. You added like 10 or 20 more reasons than I did. So you added more to the evidence of why and the reasons why these Dashers hate. And then you got to look at all the responses you got from that video that you made about DoorDash is leaving. What's it, the percentage is positive and what is negative? Because I looked at all the comments from your subscribers on that video. And it looks like 80% are negative and 20% are positive. So the majority of the response you got from that video that you made is negative. And I'm seeing this in Florida. UDM is doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
How to make more money without DoorDash. That was not UDM before. We have to be honest. And he also made another video, why DoorDash pay is so low.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something going on. It's not just my market. Bree made a video just like yours. Bree made a video talking about why they're quitting the platforms, the Uber Eats and DoorDash platforms. She made a video similar to yours. And I'm seeing this trend in New York. I'm seeing this in people that I know from New York who work on the platform. And also in Tennessee and in some other areas. And I see a lot of negative shorts talking about DoorDash. So it's like, it looks like kind of like a small epidemic that's going on right now against DoorDash. So it's not like I saw something, one story or two stories or three stories. There's a lot. There's a lot. You talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about it. UDM is talking about it. Bree's talking about it. So it's like there's something happening.
Yeah. So I get that. I think you're optically you're looking at it like, hey, I'm hearing from these 20 other people and that are doing Spark that used to do DoorDash, and then I'm seeing other content creators from across America saying similar things about the DoorDash issues,
including
people
yourself.
aren't doing it, the pay. So
Exactly.
then you're kind of like, okay, I haven't done it since September, so like, okay, let me give my opinion on what I'm seeing other people talk about. I get that, but let me ask you this: if you haven't done it since September, how do you know it's bad in your area still?
Because
do you not have trust in it anymore? Like when you turn.
No, it's not me personally. It's that sometimes I joke with them, try to push them. Like when we're slow sometimes with Spark, I try to push them. Let's go do DoorDash. Let's go do it, and they all like frown. They'll give me that frown look, like I'm being serious. But then I turn around like, hey, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just playing around.
Yeah.
But they give you that frown look when you mention DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? And what I do sometimes in my market when it's slow, I turn on the DoorDash app, not knowing that I'm not going to accept any offer.
Yeah.
But just for like research purpose, like an experience to see what's going on. And sometimes it'll be like an hour and a half or 2 hours that I won't get a single offer. So I'm like, it looks like I'm not missing anything.
Do you have the tier program or the diamond program in your area, Dino, or not?
I don't even know that if I have.
You don't know if you have it or not. Okay, it might be a deciding factor as to why. That's a big. Who knows if that's real? If they prioritize drivers? I mean, I think there's something to it. Other people can argue the other side, and they could be right. I don't know the algorithm. I can only give my perspective, but I'm happy to hear that you're not doing it. That actually puts a smile on my face because I've always kind of given you shit and other people's shit and myself shit when I hear people talking about an app they don't like, but they keep going back to it and they keep doing the same shit and expecting a different result. So I got to commend you for trying something different. I think that's good. If you're doubling your money, it's about damn time you did. That's good. That think about you should have did that 2 years ago. You might have been you might have a different.
I said that.
The gig economy.
I said that if I started doing Spark 2 years, actually doing Spark 2 years ago, their base pay was $20.
So what is it right now, Dino?
Right now, this is how it works. The base pay is the minimum. It changes. Okay. Now it used to be $20. The base being like the low volume and the low weight, like a basic delivery, like a very small basic delivery, and it starts from 20 and then it goes up.
Yeah.
Now they have changed it to 11. They've dropped it down to 11. Now, yesterday I had an order with a base pay of 25 with no tip. DoorDash cannot compete with that. True or false? Because you just said 7, 11 for the shopping pays is the base pay.
No. Well,
11.
Yeah, I think with DoorDash, I mean, I've seen some high base pay. I don't know if I've seen $20 base pay, Dino. It's not
Sephora.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not normal. I've maybe seen it 4 or 5 times.
Exactly.
There's a couple of merchants that you can't leave a tip on, or like you're delivering like bouquets of like edible flower arrangements, and like the mileage is usually like 15 miles plus. But I've done some. It's not normal though. But I do.
Sephora is the number one.
Yeah. It's like a.
I used to get $25 with DoorDash, $25 base pay, no tip.
With no tip, yeah, no tip.
Only Sephora though. Only
That's not
Sephora.
normal though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
once a
shopping
week.
pays on a weekly basis. Shopping pays. I see $10, $15 base pay.
10 to 15.
I'll get a $25 Aldi. It could be $12, $13 base pay, $10, $12 tip. I get those several times a week now. But I have the shopping pay. Maybe St. Louis shopping pays are really good on DoorDash and other markets. But I definitely the base pay. I see the $2 well, but I see, with the shopping pays, I see higher base pay in my market.
So with that, you see Spark is paying double that.
Yeah, but my question was, so when you started, the base pay was higher with Spark. Now it's lower, correct?
Yeah, it has gone low. Yeah.
So Spark, in my opinion, is gonna do the same thing that Uber Eats does, DoorDash, Grubhub. They've all lowered the base pay. We all know that these companies are gonna do that over time. I think it's good to start a new app. Like I started doing DeliverThat. I like it. They do a tip pool. You don't know how much you're really making, but there's a range. Basically, you're gonna make between 27 and $40 on most runs, and that's good money. It's a good order. It's catering. Sometimes you got to set up a lot. Sometimes your setup's really easy. But like that. I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but the base pay on that company 4 years from now could be less. Like all these companies kind of do that.
Yeah, but at that time, when Spark gets to that level,
yeah,
what's going to be the base pay on DoorDash? It's going to be even lower.
Yeah. What's up, UDM? How you doing, man? I mentioned
they're going to go lower, but they can never compete with the Spark base pay. That's what I'm trying to get at. Even though it's lower now, it's still higher than Uber Eats and Grubhub and DoorDash. It's still higher. Absolutely.
I think, for me, and this is going to be, everybody says this and we all know this, it's obviously market dependent. What UDM does in Florida, I might not be able to do in St. Louis and vice versa. What Dino does you're in Phoenix, you're in Arizona, right?
Arizona, Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah. So like what you do, somebody might not be able to do in Chicago or California or New York. Like, I always felt like it's our responsibilities as independent contractors, as subcontractors, as whatever we want to call ourselves, to find the app that works for you. And I always just never understood, like, why are people so negative on DoorDash, but they still work the app? Or they don't understand, like, DoorDash is telling you, in my opinion, they're telling us exactly what they expect. And they've changed the game. And I don't like it but I adapted a year and a half ago. So my perspective and my experience with the app is different because I adapted such a long time ago. So I also realized if somebody's trying to adapt right now and they got a low AR and they don't like the shop and they're not in the pizza program, like I understand their hill to climb is a lot steeper than mine. You know what I mean? Like I get that. But like at some point we gotta like do what you did. I didn't know you didn't do it anymore. So that's good. If you haven't worked this since September, that's fantastic if you're making more money. But I would also say if you haven't worked this since September, how can you speak on it that it's a trash app? How can you say it's bad if it's been that long since you've worked it? Maybe some things have changed in your marketplace.
Like I said, I turn it on once in a while for kicks to see if I get an offer or not. Because only on times when it's slow. Yeah. And I notice it right there.
Yeah.
Even if it was a good offer or a bad offer, I still wouldn't accept it because I have the Spark app running at the same time. But just to see, just for curiosity to see, what am I going to get? And a lot of times when I try to turn on it, it's all gray. It's always gray. Yeah. I cannot dash anytime. And then when I see it's red, it's like once in a blue moon, and then I hit it. And then after about an hour and a half, I might get an offer, and it's like $3 for 10 miles. I'm like, there it is. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean
I get it.
It's for everybody. It's just for me and for the market that I'm in. People see that. You see what I'm saying? Their experiences too, combined with the stuff you're saying, what UDM is saying, what other creators are saying, and people that I know from other states, what they're saying, it becomes a bigger picture than just only knowing what's going on with these 20 drivers.
Yeah.
It's a lot more going on.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think, even I get caught up in like the community that might comment on my videos or other people's or live panels. And like, I get caught up in, I think a lot of us, I think some of us, I'll speak for myself. And I think it's fair to say others. So some, we think we know what's going on because of what we're talking about in this very small niche on YouTube. And I don't know. I would love to know. And it'd be hard to know. I mean, there's millions of drivers. I would love to know if most DoorDash drivers are struggling. And I don't know if all of us can really say that definitively, just based on a couple of conversations and a couple of live streams. I think there are still enough DoorDash drivers out there that are doing okay. I know we see some on YouTube that report good earnings. They're pretty, they're making good money. They're having a good perspective, and that might change for them. But like, I'd be interested to know like how many. But let me ask you this: what percentage of DoorDash drivers do you think are not making fair money on the DoorDash platform? What percentage do you think?
Now, if I compare from, you see, what I do is I put all the stuff that I can put together. Either your market, my market, what you're saying, what I'm saying, what these people that work with me saying, and everybody else in other markets.
Yeah.
And if I have to guess the percentage, I have to say that 20 to 30% of people are doing good with DoorDash.
Are doing good. So 70% are struggling. 70 to 80%.
About 60, 70%, yeah. Roughly.
Yeah. And then driving with Chris says 70, Eric says 80. So kind of right on par with your thought process there. Yeah, I mean that could be accurate. I do think there's a lot.
It's not. It doesn't mean that it's accurate, like scientifically accurate.
Yeah.
It's
could be.
It's this gut feeling that we all are getting, and it's a gut feeling like unified with all the drivers' perspective about that platform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to, and I'm trying to get, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to, or will ever be able to accomplish it. I want to get past the gut. I want to get past the gut, past the heart, and I want to get like some facts. I want to get like, I would love.
That's the thing. They twist the scientific. You know what I'm saying? There's people who are under control who twist the scientific data.
You mean DoorDash? You mean DoorDash can twist it?
Don't speak only DoorDash. DoorDash was not around for many years. There's people before, years before that, they knew how to manipulate the system. DoorDash was not even born. Okay, they learned it from them. So what DoorDash can manipulate, and we found out in news articles and feeds that they have been manipulating their revenues to their shareholders so they can invest. Remember that? You covered that. You already covered that.
Yeah.
I covered that, and other people have covered that. And there was news. It was on the channels.
Yeah.
Said that DoorDash was manipulating their earnings.
Yeah.
And to fool their shareholders and the market shares and all that. So
yeah. Man, these big companies do some shady shit, man.
They got the money to do it.
That's a good point. The money, the power, the lawyers, the influence, the politicians, maybe. Like, I get that. That's definitely not lost on me. Let me ask you this. So do you think as content creators, because I've been told this before, that I'm guilty of oversaturating markets, and other people have talked about it. Like, Pedro, you talk about DoorDash too much. If you give up too much tips and tricks, then you're gonna like oversaturate the country, and people are watching. And now don't give away all the secrets, and don't talk about this app. I've been talking about DeliverThat. Some people are giving me shit about it because, like, well, now more people are going to be on DeliverThat. I'm like, I'm just sharing my perspective, So, do you think that as content creators, and even if it's on Facebook or Reddit or YouTube or whatever, when we're sharing information about the amount of money we're making, that's good. Do you think that is serving a negative to us long term, because now more people are going to come to the apps to make money?
To give you an honest answer on that, it's a possibility. Yes, it's a possibility.
Yeah, I think so. It could be, but we're not touching that many people, so it's hard to figure out if that's like how real.
Because somebody who's not doing that platform that you're doing, that you're mentioning, and he's on a DoorDash or Uber Eats app, and he's listening to you, he's gonna say, "Well, let me try it."
Some people might.
You just added somebody without indirectly, of course, but somebody just got added.
Yeah.
How many people are watching that, and what other channels are talking about the same app, and how many more people you're adding in there? Yeah. But you're not doing it on purpose. You're feeling like you're doing something to help the community, but at the same time, it's like a saying. What do they say? Once you're trying to push people forward, but ends up going, backwards instead of going forwards, it goes backwards.
Yeah, UDM just says such a small percentage.
Steps down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, UDM says it's such a small percentage. I believe that.
It's small, but it happens. Yeah,
it is, and that's what I was saying in the beginning of my little monologue. Right? I was like, we think we're touching a lot of people, but we're not. So when we're getting information from drivers about an app, whatever app, we'll talk DoorDash now. I think we know what's happening, but I think there's more happening that we don't know than we. I think there's more actually happening that's true versus what we think is actually going on as far as the experience from a dasher's perspective.
But why is that an issue though? Why is that an issue?
Say it again.
Why is that an issue that you don't know so much information? Because there's no transparency. They don't want you to know. They don't want me to know because that's a secret. That's the secret. The gig apps have a secret. They're not going to let the whole populace know about their secret. They're making billions and billions of dollars. They're not going to let you in on that secret. You see what I'm saying? That's why you said that a lot of times. I've said the same things you said. The transparency. There's no transparency. There's a reason for that. And Spark is not the queen of hearts of an app either.
Right.
They're doing shady things too. But at the end of the day, it's just the money. That's the thing that they're holding on to, is that they're making more money. That's the difference. It's the money. At least they can say, well, they're doing some shady things like DoorDash, but at least we're getting more money today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to make some more money.
Yeah.
And that's what's keeping them there. But if it was the same pay, it would have been evened out. There would have been that many people on DoorDash, that many people on this platform. If they all were paying the same, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've always, in the last 6 months, my opinion, in my perspective, and I've come to realize, I think these apps are more similar than they are different. I think there are a lot of people that think they're a lot of different, like Spark's better, or this app's better, or Grubhub's better than DoorDash, or Instacart's better. I think they're more similar. I think at the end of the day,
the techniques that they use, or
techniques, pay. I think there are some apps that are going to pay you more overall for an individual order, but depending on how much time you have to invest or mileage or whatever, it could be really close. I think the marketplace sets what you're going to make. Now, you might have a different experience on Spark versus Instacart or DoorDash because you like shopping or don't like shopping, or what the algorithm or what the app sends you is just like organically more mileage, so it takes you more time. But for me in St. Louis, DoorDash, I could do one Instacart and make $40, or I could do 4 DoorDashes and make $40. And the time it's going to take me, most of the time, is going to be the same exact amount of time. Now with Instacart, I might drive a little bit less mileage, and I might be servicing less consumers, but the time is about the same, right? The profits might vary $1.50, $2 here or there, and that's important. But I think these apps overall, what they show us, what they take from one another, the information they hide, I think they're more similar in my opinion. And that's why I always try to have people think hey, I know DoorDash is trash right now for a lot of people. At least that's what people are saying. And I think it's good that we need to try other apps. I'm trying other apps. I'm going to continue to possibly try new ones just to show the community, have a different experience, whatever. Because DoorDash can be boring for me. I've done enough DoorDashes, But I think eventually these apps will start to, and I don't want to be negative, but I think they'll start to be similar. They'll see how DoorDash is what they're doing, and they'll take things from it. DoorDash is taking things from Uber, with the tier system that was on Uber before, I believe, something similar. So I just, I worry that we worry about these apps versus focusing on other ways to make money, maybe even outside of the gig economy, right? And just having a better experience for our money. Because these apps, I think we're going to all make about the same. And I think a lot of people are struggling because of oversaturation and financial crisis that America's in. So people are spending less, and it's not pandemic days. So I think there's other causes for the money to be less.
There is
versus DoorDash just lowering the base pay. I think there's way more important things. So to focus on that, I think is one-sided, short-sighted, in my opinion. What do you say to that?
But you also mentioned that you are agreeing that recently you are feeling a difference with DoorDash. For the past 4 months.
I'll bring up my earnings. I'll share my earnings with you guys.
Because of what you said on your video, that you said that you mentioned all the drivers' reasons why they're not doing it. Yeah. But you're saying I'm still doing good. But even though I'm saying that, you said that I have been noticed a difference this year.
The difference that I've noticed.
Not as much as DoorDash like you used to do last year and the year before. You even mentioned that. The
main difference is overall orders that I like, the volume of orders.
Yeah.
Right? There are times in an hour I might only see 4 offers whether I decline them or take them or what. Like I don't, But back in the day, I might have seen 6. So, and that's probably has to do with the volume being down because consumers are ordering less, and then also more dashers in my area. But the money that I'm making isn't that much different because I adapted with the lower base pay and the lower money on the stacks by doing the shopping pays, having priority on that, doing the pizza program, having a high AR in the diamond zone. I see a difference. So I worked 20 hours and I made $583. So that's not, you can't tell me that's bad money.
No, I'm not going to say that.
So, and that's, I know that if I go out, that's about what I'm going to be. My active is going to be like 28 to $30, sometimes a little bit more.
But it's
and my dash time is different because like I'm also doing Instacart and maybe DeliverThat, maybe a curry run. And I have the app on. DoorDash might be on or pause. So, but like, I'm making above what DoorDash is telling that most drivers are making. So like when I hear that the app is trash, I think some people just haven't adapted. Now, I will say, I do think in some markets, depending on your market, DoorDash is just trash. I think, obviously, I know that can be true for some people. But I also think sometimes it's how we're moving and how we're looking at the app, what time we choose to work, what time we choose to pause it. If I'm next to a McDonald's or Little Caesars and I don't like those in my market and you just dropped off, they're probably going to send you one. So pause the app, drive away towards where you want to be so it doesn't send you trash. Like there's little things you can do to manipulate it to where you're not seeing as much junk. That's how I look at it, but I don't know. I want to hear a little bit more.
Well, at the same time, I can say there now, I am saying that like the Spark Walmart right now, I'm saying it's great.
Yeah.
But if somebody like compared to what you said, when you hear somebody talking trash about DoorDash, you get your feelings, right? Now, if somebody tells me that Spark is trash and all that, I will not get my feelings because I'll understand that it's not working for that. The Spark is not working for that area.
Yeah.
I'll accept that, but I will not try to say that everybody's is being it's not being truthful.
It's being like I said, everybody's being a hater.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody
I don't
comes
get
up,
my feelings about it.
why are you saying the Spark is great when they're seeing it? It's not great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to them. I'm not gonna say that they're lying.
Yeah.
Or they're making shit, or they're just not doing it the right thing. I'm gonna say that it's definitely not working in their market.
Yeah.
Spark, and that's the truth. Like you said, DoorDash is not going to work for every market, and the same thing applies with Spark. Yeah. There are people who are not making it with Spark in other markets. I've gotten those responses as well. So what I'm saying is that figure out what's going to work in your market. What app is going to work in your market?
I'm glad you said that.
Doesn't necessarily DoorDash is the number one. That is not a true statement. It's whatever works in your market. It could be DeliverThat. It could be better than Spark and DoorDash.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm glad you said that. And I think I'll be honest with you because you said, well, you're getting your feelings if somebody mentions DoorDash. I don't get into my feelings when they mention DoorDash. I'll be honest with you, Dino. What bothers me, and it shouldn't, because this is a personal problem. This is something I got to work on. I know that about myself. I have a hard time like understanding stupid people. You're not stupid. I know you're not. But I'm saying when I see people and they're doing the same thing and expect a different result, and they come on the channel or they make a video and they're still working DoorDash or they're still working Uber rideshare and they're not making money, I don't understand it. And I almost feel like I'm failing.
I'll give you an understanding. I'll give you an understanding. I had to wait 8 months to get it. That's the problem with Spark. That's you see, like I said, it's not the Queen of Hearts of an app. You know, they all got their flaws. I have to wait 8 months to get in. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A lot of these people waited a year to get in. But before, when it was young, it was more of a necessity to get the drivers. So your wait period was 2 weeks to a month, even less than that. Then when they got enough drivers and just needed a little more, the waiting period turned into 6 months, 8 months, and sometimes even a year. So now it's like they can only do DoorDash and Uber Eats because they don't have any other platforms in their market.
Yeah.
St. Louis might have 7.
Yeah.
But some rural town in Kansas, they only have 2 apps in existence.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know why? Because I tried to sign up. I tried to sign up for Delivered yesterday. Right. I put it on my info and immediately got a pop-up alert saying we're not looking for drivers in your market, but we'll put you on the wait list. So, my experience is like, oh, I was going to try Deliver just to see because somebody recommended, can't get on it. I was on the Curry wait list for almost a year, then got on it. The DeliverThat, I signed up the process like a year and a half ago, didn't finish it. And then when I started it, as soon as I got my catering bags, immediately the next day I was approved that day. And then I did my first run 2 days later, this Monday. So like each app obviously has different levels of saturation and what they need and how fast you can get on. So everybody's experience will be different.
But you can justify that what you said. You can justify what you said that you cannot understand why they stuck with one app. Because it is true that some people are in that predicament. There is 20 apps in their market, but they're lazy. They don't want to do them, and they have the availability.
Yes.
And you have all the reason to say that.
Well, and you know what, Dino? Let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
That was my perspective of you. Because, and maybe that was wrong, but I would see you talk about the apps, but I felt like you, and it could have been my ignorance.
We don't have all
working. I felt like you were still working the apps that you were talking negative about, and I never understood that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand why somebody would talk shit on DoorDash, but then turn on the app the next day for 8 hours. Like, it boggles my mind. So when you said, hey, you haven't worked this since September, I didn't know that. Jose, thank you, man. Appreciate that. So, it boggles my mind that people,
when UDM got to DeliverThat, when he was started getting to DeliverThat and Deliver, we didn't have it here in our market. Now we have it, but it's only in certain locations. Scottsdale and Phoenix has DeliverThat, not the whole metro area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're like 40 minutes away from that and you want to do DeliverThat, you have to drive every day 40 minutes one way to do DeliverThat.
If that was my experience with an app where I had to drive 40 minutes, it wouldn't be as profitable because I can make the same money or more profits with Instacart and DoorDash. So everybody has that perspective. Let me ask you this kind of final question, and we'll just talk a little more. Maybe we'll bring some people up. I don't know how much time you have, but what do you think about the current state of content creation in the gig community? Like, just overall, be as blunt as you want to be, include myself in that or not, or, you don't have to drop name, but what do you think about the creation you're seeing? I'll share mine first if it helps.
All right,
I think there's a lot of good content creation. There's obviously some bad, that's with anything. I think mostly it's really good information that people are putting out there. Some really do a great job of it. Some, don't. Not every video that I make am I 100% proud of all the time, but sometimes I just got to rant or I got to get information out, So I realize I'm part of the issue on the negative side, but I think overall it's good. There's a lot of new channels, right? But what is Dino's perspective? Because you've been doing creation longer than me and probably watching it longer. Where do you think it is right now as compared to before? And just overall, how are you feeling about what you're watching?
Well, in general, about content creators in the gig economy community is not to put ourselves in the front of the line. Us being the owners of the content of the channel. It's always about what the community's voices should be the ones that are more important because they are the majority. Me, I'm a minority because it's my only opinion, and it's not gonna count with the many voices out there and opinions that are out there because there's so many different opinions and about the same situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do make content, but it's about my opinion. And I do mention where I got my opinion from is from listening to other people as well. But it's easier for us to say that whatever we say, always give the benefit of the doubt that there's a chance it could be directly or indirectly affected. Or if it is a fact, we need to show the evidence that it is a fact if we're trying to make like a factual statement. But if it's an opinion, it's good for us to say that it's my opinion, which you do too. You say that it's my opinion.
Yeah, I try to do that. I think.
But we need to try and do more of that giving out more of the sources of where the situation is. Me, sometimes because I come from the old world. When we say certain things, it's like we don't have to really 100% in detail describe it for somebody to understand it. That's an American.
Yeah.
You have to be very clear in America
Nowadays, for some people, yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
And back in it, because the old countries have suffered a lot more. They've been around for 2,000, 3,000 years. And because of deceit through the years and through the ages of civilization.
Yeah.
In their language, they have come up with a vocabulary for another person to pick up quickly, for the enemy not to understand what you're talking about. But between your people that in your same nationality, they can pick it up quickly, understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the enemy will not, even if the enemy knows the language, he cannot understand what you're saying. Which is cryptic. You see what I'm saying? It's cryptic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes I have a lot of issues with that because I talk like that sometimes on my video. And the American audience, they're very hard to try to get it. But somebody from, like, say, your country, because your country has some hard times. They have a history.
Oh, yeah.
Understand. You know what I'm saying? It's the street talk in America compared to the educational talk. Somebody from college all his life cannot understand somebody talking in the street.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think you and I
you see what I'm saying? It's a cryptic thing.
Yeah, when we turn that camera on, I think you and I just go. You know, I get that vibe from you, and that's why I really like watching you when I started watching you, because like, this guy's just talking, and I'm similar. I don't ever script. I might have an idea. I'm just fucking going. I don't care if I offend somebody. I'm not always right.
It's street talk. It's street talk. Yeah.
I just giving it to you. But I think I'll speak for myself. What I think I need to do a better job of when I'm looking back, right? I think I give my perspective. I might say, hey, this is St. Louis, or this is my opinion. This is my experience, right? But I need to do a better job of understanding that my experience probably isn't normal for most. You know, and I understand the things that I'm doing and why I'm doing them and why I do DoorDash is probably different than 90+% of people. So I think I need to do a better job of just giving information. But people like the opinion. So I give my opinion and I like giving it. But I think there are times that I probably, as a content creator, come across like maybe a little arrogant, a little like he knows it all. Like, oh my God, he's saying he just makes good money in St. Louis, but like I'm somewhere else and they're not making good money. So like, you're trying
to insinuate a fact. You see what I'm saying? It looks like you're trying to insinuate a fact to others, but you're doing it indirectly. You probably don't even understand that you're doing it.
Yeah.
But to somebody else watching you, they're seeing that you're trying to initiate a fact.
Yeah.
And they get offended, but that was not your the direction you're trying to go.
It wasn't the intent. Yeah.
But you did say that you're lucky. You did say that on your video that
sometimes
I must be lucky. And I do say that myself, that I'm lucky that what I'm doing right now in this market, I bet you if I wasn't in the same market, in the same metro area, if I was in a different Walmart, I could be making a lot less than this one that I'm in right now.
Right. Now, let me ask you, I got another question because I mentioned it earlier. You're in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Other people are in Phoenix. Obviously, a lot of Hispanic population in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, a lot of
you're having a good experience so far with Spark, but then I think you said in the beginning until today, so maybe today wasn't great. So are you seeing, or how do you feel about the saturation level of Spark, immigrants, whether they're illegal or not illegal, migrants, like, are you seeing that? Are you worried about
Venezuelans?
Worried about that at all?
In the group. But they're with papers. From Venezuela, but they have papers. They're from here. They know they speak English and all that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not that many illegals. We're not seeing that many illegals because they speak their language very fluently, better than us. So you can't say these people just came off the boat today. So they've been in this country for a long time. So they're from here.
Yeah.
But I do see people that are leaving DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub. They're leaving those platforms and they're finally getting approved with Spark, and we're seeing oversaturation right now. Right. We're seeing more and more new faces recently. We are seeing more and more new faces showing up at the Walmart. And the people that I know for almost a half a year, they've been there for like a year or two. So they've been there even longer.
Right.
They say, hey, look, we got a new driver today or tomorrow or the next day. Recently, they're pointing out the people that are new, that just started like a week ago.
They stick out because you start recognizing faces if you do it. Just
because we're there every day. These people are there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If let's say 4 years ago, DoorDash was an app you were able to make money with, and now Spark's your earning app. If 6 months from now you start to see a change in your money making ability with Spark, what's Dino's next move? That's your homework, Dino. That's your homework.
That's a discipline. That's a discipline.
That's your homework, right? We gotta be thinking, like, in my opinion, we gotta be thinking 6 months from now, a year from now. Okay, what's another app maybe I could look at?
It will not necessarily be an app. It could be something in the medical field.
A way to make money. Yeah, just whatever that means. An app could be a W-2. It could be a gig. It could be whatever.
I'm hearing a lot of things about making money with AI. A lot of information.
Yeah.
A lot of commercial. Have you noticed that? There's a lot of commercials.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen.
With AI.
I'll tell you this. I've been noticing YouTube channels that are completely AI, and they have crazy views and making crazy money. Now, I'm not smart enough and aren't talented enough to figure out how to do it. I could probably look it up into it. But yeah, the AI is a thing. We got AI people making music with people's voice that aren't even alive anymore, musicians, and they're making AI content. It's absurd. It's crazy, right? It's cool, but it's crazy. But like, yeah, think about, these apps. I think they're more similar. We always got to be thinking about that move, like what's being ahead of the curve. And I think I think he's still in here. UDM will be on the show next week. And we're going to have a really good convo about some things, because UDM was ahead of the curve when it comes to some of these caterings and stuff. He was the one that really started talking about it. And now we're starting to see other people try it. So we're going to have a really good conversation about that. I want to give him his flowers with that, because I think we have to be thinking about what is the next opportunities for us, gig related or not. And so that we're not caught by surprise, or not putting ourselves in a situation of having a couple of months that we're struggling. Right? So we can kind of just be ahead of the curve a little bit. I think that's going to be something for us to talk about and think about. Roy, I saw your comment. Roy, we're putting Roy to sleep. I think he expected us to fight, but
Well, Roy wants to come up on the panel, will you? Come on now.
You know what? If you have some time, I can share the link. You want to hang out for a little bit and get some people up here?
All right, sure.
Okay, cool. Good night, Gig Gal. Yeah, good night. Let me share the link real quick. I'll pin it again. And yeah, I'm glad to hear you're not talking shit on DoorDash, but you're still doing it. That's good. Because I was gonna blast you. I was like, if Dino's still doing DoorDash, but he's talking shit on,
I'm not. That's the thing. You didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I learned something.
You assumed that I was still doing DoorDash.
Absolutely, I assumed, because I assumed. I figured you were still doing it a little bit. So, that I'm glad to hear that. Let me pin this real quick. Hold on. Somebody wants to jump up. We could talk about the immigration stuff as well. If you have an opinion, if somebody has an opinion on that, on what they're seeing, how it's affecting your money, we can get into those things.
But the biggest issue with immigration, what I found out from all the information that I gathered, which is, what I'm saying, it's New York City, mostly it's New York City.
A lot in New York, yeah.
Florida is Orlando being the number one, because the Spark drivers here in this market, they came from Orlando. So I'm getting information straight from them, coming straight from Orlando, Florida, telling me the immigration is very crazy over there. They're just giving out the app, with no licenses, no anything. And they just put them. I don't know how that works, but that's a whole different thing. And in the West Coast will be like Los Angeles. There's a lot of that there. And
major markets, big cities. Big cities. So listen, Dino, I want you to promise me and the viewers one thing. Okay, so in 6 months, if Spark isn't good, I don't want to hear no complaining in the car. Like, Dino's gonna figure out what he's gonna do if it happens 6 months from now, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
I'm just giving you shit, man.
No, that's true. Everybody's gonna be on that. Everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
They all gonna do that. Yeah,
I think these apps have a shelf life of them being really good for people. I just do. I think that unless you're going to do rideshare and just work 14 hours a day, and some people do that, like the shelf life on these apps is not, for one app or two apps, isn't that long. All right, let's see what we got waiting in here. I see Roy, I see Val, I see Unknown Dasher, I see Gabe Botos, I see Jonathan. Let me bring Roy up here, because we put Roy to sleep But then he wants to come on a damn show. So you know what? Let's give Roy some attention.
Get Roy.
What is going on here, man? I'm expecting to see a rumble. You guys are running through the fields holding hands and shit. Like, what's this? Where's the
Nobody's
rumble,
holding hands, Roy. What's up,
Yo,
man? Listen, if you want a rumble, now we're here. So now it's officially a rumble.
We rumbled enough.
All this tough guy talk on these fucking videos, and now I come up here and I'm like, what is this?
There's no tough
guy. Roy, long time no see you.
Yeah, I know.
What's been
Roy, what do you think about? I'm gonna ask you the same question. Content creators and us giving out information, opinions, thinking that we know what's going on when really most people don't watch us. Like, what do you think about that? I want to get your honest opinion on that.
It's all about clicks and views, man. This is no different than any other gig. YouTube is no different than any other gig for a lot of us. It's a little side money that we make, a few $100s here, a couple thousand there, whatever. But it's just clicks and views. Nobody knows what these apps are really doing. And it's all speculation on what, like you said, I sent you that thing about the pick your own orders. Motherfuckers had this for months now, and it's just now getting there. So a lot of people don't even know what's going on. And you have 300 people in here probably right now.
Yeah.
There's probably another million out doing DoorDash right now that don't even watch this stuff. So they don't even know what's going on. They don't, and a lot of people really don't care. If you're like me, I don't watch this for like the knowledge of how to do DoorDash. If you're a true independent contractor, you'll learn to do it yourself and do it right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't follow everybody's, information here because like you said, I live Vegas. You guys live Arizona, St. Louis. What the fuck do we have in common? Really jack shit other than accept and decline. And that's at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's accept and decline. People making, like I said, people make too much of this shit, bro. They're like, you would think they're working for NASA or some shit going to Mars. It's accept and decline, and I just don't get it. Like, people live for this, I guess. Though, but
do you think DoorDash is dead? Do you think DoorDash is done?
No, DoorDash ain't dead. DoorDash ain't gonna be dead for probably ever, bro. You got an endless supply of people willing to do DoorDash. DoorDash ain't going nowhere. So everybody that thinks it's dead, just because they dropped the pay down to $2 doesn't mean they're dead. It's like any app. They've been here the longest, along with Uber. It's like Uber and Lyft situation. Uber was first. That's why most people know what Uber is versus Lyft. That's why Lyft took so long to catch on. Same with DoorDash. DoorDash is number one for a reason because they've been here the longest. They do the most advertising. They do all this, so everybody knows what DoorDash is. And I was telling Dino earlier, it's not really DoorDash. It's the customers. These customers suck balls. Excuse my language, but they suck balls. They're not tipping anymore. Nobody wants to tip because everybody wants you take a dump in the public toilet. Somebody's out there asking for a tip nowadays. It's just people just don't want to tip anymore. The economy sucks ass. Yeah. And we already know people are willing to spend their last $5 to get DoorDash versus buying some ramen noodles. They are. So you can't really blame it all on DoorDash. You got to blame a lot of it I blame more of it on customers than I do DoorDash. We already know.
And that's where you and I agree. And I get a lot of shit for that. But people don't. That's an unpopular opinion that we share. But I'm not doing business with DoorDash. I'm doing business with the people that want food in my community. Yeah. So that's, to me, and that's where most of your pay is going to come, not base pay, but in tips. So regardless of how you feel about tips and how it fits in America and tip fatigue, like that's the reality of how we get paid most of our earnings. So I look at my neighbor. My neighbor doesn't want to tip me for shopping 50 items at Aldi. Fuck them. I'm not mad at DoorDash. Like I'm looking at the person that I can see. I don't know Tony. You know what I'm saying? The app is an app on my phone. If I'm delivering to you and you can't show me love, that's my issue. But that, I'm gonna bring up a few more people. You guys go ahead and keep chatting around.
We're seeing that in my market and doing Spark. We are seeing Spark customers doing the same thing right now. They're not tipping.
Of course. When you got none of them, all of them, they picked the shitty president, so they're the ones that put this economy where it is. We'll get into that to a different type of discussion, but. At the end of the day, don't like it, don't do it. Once again, it goes back down to just don't do it if you don't like it. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't get it. How many times you gonna kick the goddamn table and then complain that the table's still there. Move the table or quit kicking it. Either or. Just quit your bitching and complaining. Either do it or don't. The customer's going to suck regardless. And the customers suck, and the sorry ass customers are only going to get worse. More and more people, as they get broker and broker, you're going to have less and less people tipping. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And so you can't blame DoorDash. DoorDash promised you $2. You get your $2. It's the trash ass customers that don't want to do their part to make sure they're taking care of you while you're being their bitch. That's what it boils down to.
Let's welcome Bud Soda, Good Bell Tolls, Jonathan, and I don't know who's the person with the mask on.
AMC. How
you doing?
Yeah, I just don't want to show my face.
Yeah, it's all good. No, you're
yeah, but
you're
Pedro,
all good.
you're my favorite Boricua, man. I just gotta tell you, appreciate everything you've done, bro.
It's all good, man. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, bro.
Let me Bud Soda, man. Bud Soda, what's up? Let's get Bud Soda's opinion on DoorDash, and are you making money? Is it trash? Give me your thoughts, man.
I'm still making money. I mean, the volume isn't there. The pay isn't as good. Shopping pays are the strongest thing you can do. Figure out your Aldi and Dollar General, kids. And a lot of people hate Dollar General. But
yeah, Pedro.
they're ratchet, but that's where you make money.
Dollar General.
I understand that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, some of the Aldis are pretty ratchet.
I get it.
But like, if you have a balance, that's what you really need. I've worked many markets. Like, I have a rural market, Canton, Potsdam, Messina, St. Lawrence County. My Watertown, Fort Drum was my main bread and butter. I've also worked Utica, Rome area, the Twin Cities. I've worked Oswego, Fulton. I've worked Syracuse, many different markets, and some are better than the others. But at the end of the day, I can figure out how to work a lot of them. I mean, I've even worked yours, so I think the biggest thing is to be adaptable and be versatile. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to, like you said, do the same thing over and over and think they can get different results. You can't do that. The best thing you can do, in my opinion, and this is like UDM gold sauce here, Google independent contractor catering delivery, and more than catering will come up. You might find a local app you didn't know about. You might find a local delivery app that you didn't know about. And anything you could pre-schedule is gold. So, like, I put a list a long time ago of a bunch of cities' food fets catering was in. So, I recently put someone on in Massachusetts. Just met him through YouTube. His name's Gig Tax on here. So, if you can diversify everything you can, the better. I think pre-scheduling is the best thing before you do everything else. Keep busy as possible if you can. So if you're 10 miles out and they give you a $9 for 10 miles, well, you're already 10 miles out.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Bud Soda? Can I ask you a question? How many goddamn apps you going to want to put on your phone before you realize this ain't the shit? This ain't the shit. It's going to be a constant fucking thing. One's good, one will be good. They all go down the fucking toilet. It's a pattern that we see with all these apps. That they'll give you the fat money at first, and then they just shoot right down the fucking toilet. Over and over. Like how many apps are? When is it going to kick in that we got to have 40 apps on our phone, 50 apps on our phone? What is it going to take?
I think UDM is the one who has like 40 apps.
But that's
you don't use them all. Don't get me wrong, but like.
Hey,
that goes back to our safety issue. That goes back to the whole safety issue. and that to me goes to safety issues.
Have an exit. Have an exit plan. So my plan is to get more personal clients, get last mile delivery going for myself, personal shopping for myself. And I've already got a few consistent clients, and it's wonderful. I'll tell you what, it's guaranteed money. And one hits me up maybe once every week or two, and one's like 2 to 4 times a week. Sometimes every day she might hit me up. So the more I can do, the better. I absolutely love it that I can have that much versatility. I'm trying to get to where that's majority. That's where I'm struggling. Getting people off the thumb or the pacifier of these apps is very, very hard.
It's very hard.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
tried
I mean, but you
Craigslist?
got an opportunity. You got an opportunity to be part of your community, and that we're dealing with elements every day, right? We're dealing with rain, sun.
Um,
We're dealing with
they
customers.
unfortunately, for whatever reason, what we do or what I post is against their community guidelines, or someone just reports my post. So either Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, you're selling a service, not an item. Yeah. Get the heck out of here.
No, they got services on you. You can put services for
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
I've tried.
All kind of
There's
services
a
on
guy in New York. There's a guy. I
Craigslist.
think there's a guy in California
You
that
can't put
does
certain types of services, but
charges like $5 for.
Don't stop anybody.
Someone basically reports me under that for whatever reason, and their system sucks, so it gets taken down. So I don't even try.
Soda,
on
what are you
Craigslist
selling
anymore.
on
well, I'm just
Craigslist,
wondering
man?
because you say you love doing the private
Delivery.
client, you love doing the private client stuff. So I'm asking, what other means have you tried to do to get private clients? Have you went to any old person's homes where you can ask them if they need somebody to shop for them? Have you done stuff like that, or is it just
I do
relying
every
on
time I'm there for catering, yes. And most of them tell me no. I go to every little diner that I'm in a random town for. I'll eat there to tax write-off. And I'm like, hey, do you ever have someone who you guys use Instacart for Aldi, or you guys, would you like someone to go out and do that? Go to the wholesaler, because I know no one around here but me does that kind of stuff.
You know what my friend doing? He's put his number card and he's tagged on all the order on DoorDash and everything.
That's not a
His
good idea.
number and people calling him for private delivery. He gets
I
some
know.
call every single day.
It's not a good
until
idea.
you
I,
find that one person that doesn't allow that, and they call him DoorDash, and he ends up.
Yeah,
losing his shit.
that's why I want to
Yeah.
do that, exactly.
Yeah.
I just talked to the
Yeah,
person
it's
in
risky.
person.
I got a
So I
taco.
wanna-
I got a
we
taco
have,
spot.
We have
Someone else go.
unknown dasher. Who's unknown dasher?
The person that got about 50 apps on their phone.
We woke the boogeyman.
BBM, the ultimate delivery man. What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm pretty good. I hope everybody doing well.
I'm doing great. Happy late 420, everybody.
Yeah.
You can't tell by my face. I'm still enjoying it.
You still enjoying it? That's good. So
Oh, yeah.
UDM, you know what? I'm gonna call you Unknown Dasher. Actually, Unknown Dasher. What do you think about the conversation me and Dino had? Just give me some insight.
What part? Regarding content creation, like what part?
Oh, I know that voice. I know that voice.
Yes, Unknown Dasher. More, you know what? Let's talk about the content creation. You've been creating content longer than me. What do you feel about the landscape, the information we give? Like, give me your perspective on that.
Well, I try to tell people, even if we didn't create the content, someone would. As far as like DoorDash, at some point, look at they spent like how many millions of dollars for Super Bowl, right? Just to get customers on, right? And that's just a 30-second slot being played over and over, however many times it was played. Now y'all got to remember that DoorDash was offering $2,300 in some markets just to get somebody to sign up, So at some point, even if it wasn't content creators, it could just be a regular dasher just to get that referral money. They would sign them up for $2,300. Like, I mean, I don't know if $2,300 is in every market, but at some point, it would get to the point that we are now, where some people might say it's a lot of dashers on the road. But if you see a referral of $2,300, let's just be truthful here. Would you not want to recommend somebody to do DoorDash for that $2,300?
I mean,
I would.
good money. Yeah.
It's all right. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't. Unfortunately, mine was up to $1,800 last fall, and I couldn't do it.
250 here.
Mine's
Yeah, it's like
$4.50.
$50 here now.
Mine's
Oh,
$4.50.
Well, it got that low because DoorDash started meeting their quota of the amount of dashes they wanted on the road for the demand that they're dealing with.
Makes sense.
Why?
Yeah.
So even if we okay, I've been in content creation for gig work for almost 8 years.
Oh shit.
And I could tell you, even with some of the biggest channels and the amount of views they get, it still don't even hit a large percentage of the amount of dashers or let's just say dashers, not even gig
Exactly.
workers on a whole. They don't even hit a large percentage of the amount of drivers on the road through YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, TikTokers getting more views than us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, people's attention span sucks.
You know, so that's just my perspective on that.
Yeah. Yeah, the TikTokers and a lot of the people that are watching the TikTokers are customers, not drivers.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the overall population is getting a lot of the negative TikTok stuff, and so they're seeing it, and that might be causing them not to even order, or it doesn't give them confidence to order on the platform because they hear about the bad stories, the bad this. So yeah, definitely the TikTok thing's real, man. I'm not in that TikTok game. That's a whole nother beast. I'm not touching that, man. Can't do that. Let me open it up to you guys. You guys just kind of without talking over each other too much. What do you guys think about the immigration, the illegal immigration, migration? Like, is it an issue where you're at? Do you think it's going to continue to be one of the main issues, like a lot of people are talking about within this community? How do you think that's going to roll out and for the rest of this year and going into 2025? Dino, I'll start.
Well, it's small right now because when people trying to get into Arizona, they know that this is the first place that they're going to go look for these illegals, right? So they want to get the hell out of Arizona. They want to. This is just a stepping stone to get into New York, or to right away, quickly go to Florida or go like up north. They don't want to stay around here because they know they're going to be combing this area with a fine comb here, and the immigrants know that to the core. That's why they don't try to stay and keep over here. So that's why we don't have that big of an issue here. This is just a port just to start from, to venture into other states.
Gotcha.
What about you? States, it's never here. So we don't have that much of a big issue right now, as of right now.
Yeah.
What about you, Roy? What do you
there
think?
is some, but it's not as bad.
I thought Uber Jeep Arizona said it's rampant out there. So you say it's not. He said it is.
Because he's seeing the people that are temporary around here. There's a lot of them because they're coming through here. The borders. It's not even. It's like
I'm gonna bust your balls since Pedro didn't.
Yeah.
And how do you know if they're illegals or not? Do you ask them to see their phone? Because let me tell you something. I work at a W-2 job where I deal with dashers.
Show me your papers.
And I'm seeing on average 5 to 6. I'm seeing 5 to 6 dashers that aren't on that platform. I see Maria and Juan shows up, or I see Juan and I see Maria show up. I see this 5 or 6 times a day. So you can't sit there and say you don't know if it's rampant or not if you're not in a position to see it. Where I'm in a position to see it, I'm seeing it 5 to 6 times a day, just in my shift alone, where I'm seeing people that aren't the right person on that app that's supposed to be picking up that food. Like I said, you got Tyrone, and then Taniqua shows up, or whatever it can be. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just pulling out names on my app. But that's what I'm seeing. So
and you went straight to Tyrone and Taniqua.
It's housing here in Arizona. They have hotels for immigrants.
Oh,
but permanent. What you see in it is permanent. They're here for like maybe a month or 2 months or 3 months, and you see in that. But after that, you're not going to see those people anymore because they're moving. They're moving out. And that's the people who are covering this shit, not from me personally. It's from the reports that we're getting from our channel news here in Arizona. They are covering this every day. They're going to Scottsdale. That's where most of the hotels are. Scottsdale, south of Phoenix. A lot of hotels over there. And they're putting the immigrants in there for a small period of time. And what I mean small, not days, I mean like 2-3 months, sometimes 6 months, even a year. But after that, they're not staying longer than that. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with that?
But it doesn't matter whether they stay there. It doesn't matter whether they stay there or not. They're still an illegal immigrant, whether they move to Nevada,
they're still
an illegal immigrant. It doesn't matter where they stay, like where they go to.
Yeah, they're
here. Let's keep it to what you like. Do you guys think your markets are being impacted by it? But before I get to, I want to get Gig Bell Tolls, Jonathan, UDM, and AM in here on this conversation as well, and Bud Soda. But do you think your market's impacted? That might be an issue why earnings are down. But then also, how can we, Skydasher, I put it up, because like I said in the beginning of the show, how can I look at the 5 Indian guys that I saw this week or whatever that are from India? How can I look at them and assume that they are an immigrant?
Yeah,
I can't do that. I think that's really ignorant of me to assume that they're a legal immigrant or a migrant. They might have been born here. I have no idea.
Exactly.
So I think some of us, that's how I look at it. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but I think we have to think about that. Gig Bell Tolls, what do you think? Is your market impacted by what many others are saying their markets are?
Hell, dude, I'm in Texas. There's lots of illegals here, man. But it's not my business. I don't get in their shit. Hey, they came to this country. They want to beat the system. Fine. It hasn't really been affecting me much. I've noticed. I've noticed something weird with DoorDash today. I was in Grand Prairie, and the tier system is over there in DoorDash, right? But when I got back home, it's not there. It's weird. Weird, makes no sense. But anyway, that's another topic.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, it's. I'm not gonna. It's just rude to walk up to somebody and ask hey, you're illegal. Why are you doing this? Man, he's doing it for the same reason why I'm doing it. It's easy money. Don't take a lot of withdrawal or know-how. And it's. Who am I to tell him he's wrong for trying to do what he's trying to do, right? So.
Yeah.
So can I bust your balls a little bit too?
No, to add what he's saying is,
please.
I'm busting balls. I'm up here to bust balls. That's why y'all want me.
Hold on, let me put my protective cup on, dude. Give me a second.
Because now you're becoming part of the problem. If you sit there and say, "Oh, I don't care about it. They're just here to do this," then you're part of the problem because they're taking food out not only your mouth and your family's mouth, but your neighbor, the next door neighbor. Yeah. They're taking money out of your guys' pocket. So you can't sit there and say, "Oh, I really don't care." What is it going to take for you to care when you're not making no money at all? So somebody's got to step up and start saying I care and start trying to reach out and do something about it. Like I said, I'm in a position on my
fair point.
I see it all day long. I see people don't speak English. They do this all day because they can't speak. They can't even speak to you because and like I said, Maria and then a Juan shows up or somebody else. Totally different names on the account to the people that are coming in.
Roy, Americans are doing the same thing.
But you can tell when somebody doesn't speak English to you. I've been around enough Hispanic people that they know a little bit of English, but I'm talking these guys can't even tell you the customer's name, that they don't even speak English. They just do this. And that's their whole way of communicating with you, is just to show you the phone because they can't say anything else to you. And I'm not dogging them. It is what it is, but we can't sit back and just say, "Oh, I don't care. It doesn't affect me as long as I'm making mine." Then you become part of the problem and not the solution. And the fact that DoorDash even allows this kind of stuff and it's going on the way it is, whether Spark's doing it or something's got to be done about it because, like you said, it's in your pot. They don't care about the tip. I can guarantee these guys, they'll take the $2 all day long and they'll work the 18, 20 hours because they'll just pass that phone on to the next guy that they're, living with or whatever, and they just keep going 24 hours a day. And then you wonder why you only seeing $2 because once again, we all know customers are trash. And if I can get my McDonald's picked up for $2, I'm only going to pay $2. That's how it's going to work.
Yeah. Jonathan, go ahead. I think you had your hand raised. This isn't school, Jonathan. You ain't got to raise your hand. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
And I'm not being mean to you, bro. I'm just balls. I like to.
Dude, I'm completely 420'd out, dude. Nobody can make me mad right now.
So guys, me, I'm in Canada. So in Canada, we have some. I start to see like Roy said, people don't speak English. I saw some people from Ukraine start to show their phone, and I'm like, how Uber or DoorDash let those people come in? How they let go? Like me, when I start for Uber, I would need to go to the Green Hub and see some person at the office. But now they're doing all on their phone. They were just put on their phone and they go easy on the app. That's the issue because nobody's know if they're speaking English or they they're doing everything. So that's making a problem. And like Roy said, like some people don't care, but some people care because they're taking us our order. And I have some few friends from other countries. I need to start telling them, stop taking trash order, stop taking those, stop. And they're like, why? I'm like, because the customers need to understand to stop fucking not tipping us. And if you guys just keep taking those trash order, they're gonna just keep doing. And now they start to learning about, okay, no, this is not a good one, this not a good one, this not a good one, that's not a good one. So yeah.
Yeah, there's no regulation, man. There's no regulation with these apps. That's a big issue too. The regulation on these platforms is it's not existent. That's why a lot of this shit that we're seeing is happening. There's got to be some regulation, not like a total. We don't want to go totally 0 and totally 100. There's got to be some little bit of regulation on certain facts that are happening with the app.
What's good regulation that you could?
That you cannot hire people who don't even have a driver's license. They don't even have a birth certificate. They don't have anything, and you hire them. But you're giving a hard time to Americans when they move from one state to another, and they're hiring these stupid checker company that doesn't know their ass from their elbow. They're telling you that your license has expired. Well, you have a new license that it takes 20 years to expire. They go so hard on people who have papers and everything, but zero control over people who ghosts in the state. Pretty much, you're like a ghost. If they want to track you, they don't know where you're from, where you live, nothing. But they can work for DoorDash, Spark, and Uber Eats and all the platforms.
Well, how does DoorDash and these other gig companies, how do they vet somebody through software when they might show an ID and that software might not be able to detect if it's real or not?
They're not trying. I don't think they're trying. I think they know. I think they know, but they're not trying.
Well, the issue, Pedro, issue on DoorDash, they should do like Uber, like need to take a screen on their face. Yeah. Every time I need to log in on Uber, they just scan my face.
Yeah, there's workarounds. There's workarounds. There's workarounds to that. There's also GPS. They could also work around the GPS and Androids. I don't want to infiltrate your channel with any kind of.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
And I'm not, I'm not that kind of guy. You know, the mask.
I don't know. You look kind of like a ninja, dude. You could look like you could infiltrate some stuff.
I'm out here trying to kill legislations, though, man. I'm out here trying to kill legislators, though, because what they did in New York isn't right.
Share. But AM, what is your market been impacted by the saturation of immigrants or migrants or whatever? Like, have you seen that? What do you think about it? Is it an issue? Is it not for you in your marketplace?
Yeah, I see them. I mean, since I first started, you got guys from Nigeria, you got guys from Mexico. And I mean, a lot of the thing is like, these people don't have the strategy. They don't have the seniority that we do. And it does affect us. I agree. Sure. I understand that. You know, it does affect us, but there's always a workaround. There's always a new strategy. There's always something new you could try out. There's always like a different market you could try. There's a different app. There's a job you could get. I mean, you know, land of opportunity, guys, you know? So I get it, though. It's a good discussion. Yeah. I understand. I live right next to New York. Yeah. So I don't want to blow up my market because I like my market a lot.
I hear you.
But
I have a different perspective on this entire subject. My parents, they're not illegal immigrants, but they're from St. Lucia. They had to go through the whole process of getting naturalized and everything to become American, right? Or a U.S. citizen. So when I see, all right, so here's my perspective. It's multiple parts of this, all right? So just bear a little patience with me. So knowing people that, knowing where my family come from, there's this thought of America, land of the great, land of the free, you know, you could land of the opportunity, you know. So it's easy. It's not easy to get in America if you don't have the proper documentation to get in here, right? Especially like a visa or something, right? But if you have a visa or a working visa or whatever it is, you could get over here, even if you don't speak a lick of English, right? Yeah. And a lot of people come over here to just work and send things back home for their family that have little or nothing, you know. So it's like I see all kinds of immigrants, some that don't speak English, but they're not Hispanic. They're not all Hispanic.
Yeah.
I see people from countries that they can't even speak English, but I don't know. I don't want to assume where they're from, but it's just there's different types of people here in South Florida. This is another melting pot, just like New York City,
Yeah.
right? So it's like when a lot of these people come in, I just automatically look at it like, okay, yeah, we're oversaturated like crazy here, way above my head, right? But I'm just like, I gotta work around them. Let them go ahead and work whatever they feel they need to send whatever back home to whoever they gotta send it to. But I'm just like, man, it ain't none of my business, So that's how I look at it, Roy. Don't bust my balls.
No, but for real, bro,
That's
the thing.
kind
You
of my
can't look
point
at it
too.
like that. We can't look at it like that because they're affecting our country. Our economy is eating ass right now because these people are being given the opportunity to vote, and because they're being allowed to do this shit, because people are allowing them to do this shit, they're getting away with it, and now our economy sucks. It can't be too hard to cross the border because we got over 8 million illegals that ran the border in just these last 3 years. Those are statistics. Those numbers are out there. So if you figure if 8 million was able to get by, what million didn't get caught or weren't counted for? Not to mention, they vote for whatever people want to give them, and people go, "Oh, we feel sorry for them." I don't feel sorry for you. Send you back to where you came from and wait like you were when we had the other president in, like it should be. Because it's degrading to your family because your family has gone through a process. I can guarantee you it probably took over 10 years to become naturalized citizens for this country. They worked, busted their ass, paid taxes, and then you got these people that were people. Oh, I don't care. Well, they're not paying the taxes. People say they do, but let's on.
But here's one more thing I want to
even worse. So we got and trust me, somebody in the comments said me giving these people food. I hate to sound like a rat motherfucker, but I will call DoorDash on you. I'm not playing those games. I love my country. It's there for a reason. And so I will call DoorDash.
I kind of want to drop in. I just want to drop in.
Go ahead.
Both arguments I think make sense. I agree with both arguments to some extent. Like, hey, we gotta at least control this to some extent. We gotta do something to circumvent some of what's going on. But if you really, think about your life if you're not working a job and paying taxes properly, or if you're like renting an account, Uber Eats account. Like you really think you're gonna be out here on DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, multi-apping, making $35, $40 an hour out here? You know what $20 an hour out here is for somebody that just came out of the Sonora Desert?
A lot of money.
Mm-hmm. There's that argument as well. Immigration's always been a part of our country, and how it's being handled right now, I don't agree with it whatsoever. I hear you.
Right.
I come from a Cuban background, so my family came from Cuba in '93, and they came the illegal way because the legal way doesn't make sense either.
Yeah,
the legal way doesn't make sense to anybody.
The legal way is a bitch.
It's like they don't make, and it's probably for like a good reason. But listen, look what's happening either way. How many millions of people are coming to this country, right? I understand him, and UDM as well.
But here's something else to take into consideration. I don't know if y'all remember this, but this happened on DoorDash and it happened on Uber. I know right now if you go to partners.uber.com, you can actually create your own fleet of drivers.
What?
Oh, you didn't know that?
Building that shit down right now, bro.
Go to partners.uber.com and you can create your own fleet of drivers that have their own accounts and they're all working under your account.
Wow.
Boom.
Okay.
I didn't know that either. Shit.
Now,
land of opportunity, gentlemen.
Not check this out. I don't know if you remember, Pedro, but a few years ago when all of this stuff about like not illegals, but just I forgot the proper terminology, but I guess DoorDash felt like they wanted to help people with DoorDash. It's like they were opening up the doors for people that I guess were not American, but living in America or something like that. It just basically they were saying like immigrants, they were willing to help immigrants in some form of fashion. I don't know if you remember this, right?
Yeah,
It was like
vaguely.
yeah, but they didn't explain what level of help that they were going to give these immigrants. But their whole campaign was focused on immigrants. You
That's
know
why
what
we
I
got to
mean?
be careful with regulations. That's why we got to be careful with regulations and getting government involved.
So
free money has a cost too.
Because then they start pushing buttons, and then next thing you know, you can't work in New York at 5 p.m. You have to get on the schedule. You have to work like a fucking employee. Excuse me, sorry, I don't mean to curse.
No, you speaking with passion, brother. I hear it.
It's okay.
So, but what I'm saying is, we don't know what. All right. So, for instance, right, I would like to believe none of us here are immigrants to the point where we contacted DoorDash to figure out what that portal is, to know what that process is on how they handle us. Suppose this is just me just speaking hypothetically. Suppose these accounts with these random names are actually given by DoorDash because they went through the immigrant portal.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know anything about that section. I just do recall that they were pushing this whole immigrant thing, and if you're an immigrant or something, then you could like sign up and yada yada yada.
UDM, let me ask you: do you think DoorDash did that because they realized that those individuals might be a form of cheaper labor in some ways, or do you think they were doing it to really help individuals?
I believe there's both hands wash the other, man.
Yeah.
Left wash the right wash the left. So to be honest, to answer your question in a nutshell, did DoorDash see that they were gonna get something out of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Of course.
$3 orders picked up all day. It's just like when they get hired to pick strawberries. You think they're making the full minimum wage one of us would be making? Hell no.
No,
so
but Roy, I will say this.
Roy,
I will say this. I think you said something about I'll say this. If people that were illegal in this country that did certain levels of work, and they do all kinds of work, okay? They build things, or they do construction, they pick if everybody just went back to where they came from, we'd be fucked in this country. You realize that, Roy, right?
Yeah.
It'd be bad.
Fucking A, man.
It would be bad.
I want to say something.
I know we have right.
We would be screwed royally if that happened.
Because you're right, Pedro.
Okay,
You're right, Pedro.
I'll disagree with that because we've had immigration since this country was
beginning.
made.
No, the country
exactly, and so it doesn't. Now, would it be smart to change the immigration process to maybe help them get here faster? But you can't say because we allowed us to be fucking invaded by 8 million and then some that the country would be screwed up. The pretty much in my eyes, our country is screwed up because of that 8 million plus that have come in that are taking.
No, man, our country isn't screwed up, bro. This is the thing, man.
Well, the problem.
I want to say something. I had the perspective that Real Talk Roy had for a while, for like about a week. Every time I heard about it, I was like, man, these guys are like, I got a Shake Shack in the market. These guys are all in front of the Shake Shack. I work on an e-bike. I do 12 hours, 8 hours on an e-bike, right? These guys are all in front of the Shake Shacks, all the prime areas, everything. Like they just stand there. I can't even drive through and get a pickup order, right? But then after a while, like, I don't know, I just got in a good mood one day and I went out on like a Tuesday or like a Wednesday and I went back to the regular numbers I had. You guys, I'm not sure, we're not having that much of a discussion on how many mind games we're playing with ourselves, you know, because we make up all these things in our head and then we get in the car, we get in the e-bike, and next thing you know, it's like, oh man, I'm only making $20 an hour. It's because of this. Maybe it's because you just got a negative attitude towards it. I'm not saying you, Roy. I'm just saying like that's the experience I've had recently with it.
Well,
and also, I think these people are essential. You know,
Okay.
This
Well,
is a
my
very.
experience
I think
is
these people are
I just
essential.
go,
You know why I think these people are essential. I think these people are essential because I've been out on my e-bike in the rain, and I don't make as much money than as if I would have went out when I'm not outside in the rain. Right? What does that say? That means that it gets so busy that I can't even get decent orders. I can't even multi-stack properly. Right? So I'm looking at like what 20, almost 25, 30% less money. Like these people, like they have a purpose in the overall discussion, you know? So it's like I hear where you're coming from
but
though.
But the problem is everybody wants to only apply this to gig work. It's not just gig work. It's called driver safety because these guys are out driving on the road without a driver's license or a fake driver's license. They blast into you, take off. Trust me, 2 weeks ago, I just dealt with it with a hit and run. Now my car's all fucked up. I got to pay $500 because somebody decides to just hit my car and take off. But so there's other things. Police officers being killed in that city you're right next to, New York, by these immigrants that just taking advantage of the system.
I know
So
about it. Yeah, I know about it.
I apply my life to just gig work. I fucking hate gig work. I despise
Well,
gig. But at the same time, we gotta apply things. And if you're
Well,
on
but
the
we love you, boy.
like
We love
10
you.
hours a day, you got to deal with these guys that don't have driver's license, no car insurance. They blast you on your e-bike, bro. Then where are you at? You ain't making no $30 an hour. You're making jack shit because you're laid up in the hospital if you're not dead, because we're allowing these people just to come in our country and take over. And people are like, oh, just give them what they want. Give them this, give them that.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
that.
Roy, Americans do that too, man.
Yeah,
Americans drive around with no license.
yeah, of course. But
You know,
look
so-
at the but you got to look at the percentages. Most likely
But,
the percentages. The percentages.
No,
I don't know.
Roy,
I'm
you
not
make good
educated
points
enough on
though.
that to
You
know.
make good
Because
Roy,
you got to
make good
remember,
points.
That's like
we as Americans, we have driver's licenses. We have license plates. We're being tracked for the most part by our city. They're not. They're just going buying that $15, $100 car off Craigslist, not throwing anything on it, and they're out there picking up orders and doing all other crazy shit with it. So you can't just apply this shit to gig work because it is all around. It's affecting our country, not just gig work, but your daily life. Like I said, you know, you might be the one that needs to find another job, and you can't because they're willing to give this guy $10 where they're supposed to be paying him $15.
Yeah,
or whatever the case.
I think we've always had an issue of how to handle immigration here, but I feel like now it's just amplified because there's just a bigger population of us overall, illegal or legal in this country. But we've always had this issue. I mean, none of us on this panel, great grandparents are from this country. Not one of you guys. We all know that.
Well, the problem, Pedro, is the problem is no one wants to do minimum wage anymore. So all our McDonald's is filled with immigrants. All our restaurants is filled with immigrants because nobody's want to do minimum wage anymore.
Nobody wants to work anymore, bro. Nobody wants to work anymore.
It's
Yeah.
not
That's
even
what it is.
just the work
Yeah, I
part.
can't blame them for the
Nobody wants to
minimum
work
wage in my
anymore.
country though, or my country, my part of my neck of the woods. Fucking still $7.25 an hour here.
Give me a minimum wage.
Bananas.
Give me a minimum wage. I'll give you 14 hours of my day.
But you raise the bottom, you drop the ceiling, and that's a big problem we're having. And also, you give people, hey, we'll give you $1,000 a month if you come to my sanctuary city. I think that's New York City, just for example. And yeah, it's a big pull, but that money has to come from somewhere, and we're paying the price in inflation. So if you raise the bottom, you raise inflation, you give out free money, you raise inflation, and that's the problem we have compounding, not just the immigration problem itself. That there are immigrants here. My tiny St. Lawrence County, which is a rural ass county up against Canada, has an emergency because they expect a flood of migrants to eventually be sent to us by Kathy.
I'm conflicted, bro.
I'm gonna go out on a limb.
I'm conflicted, man, because it's
I'm
like
gonna go out on-
you ever heard of rice and beans and fried eggs, bro, and a little bit of salt on
Hold
top.
on.
I'm conflicted.
UDM,
Rice and beans, Mr. Ram.
Inflation's not touching me, man.
Yeah. UDM, what were we saying?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this. Okay, I hear everybody's points. I heard Roy. I heard everybody. Right. But I'm gonna come from a more conspiracy theories perspective, right?
All right, give it to us. I like.
I'm gonna tell y'all this, right?
Little Jesse the Body Ventura, if you will.
All right, so check this out. I hear everything everybody is saying, but I don't believe, and excuse my language for those that don't know that I cuss, I don't believe shit that I see on the damn news. Now, that's just me. That's me, okay? I'm speaking from my perspective.
Yep.
As long as I've known my parents to be immigrants, right? There's been in and out of all kind of immigration going in and out of this country for years. But now that it's broadcasted on the news, like, oh, we have an immigration problem. We have an immigration problem. And now these jobs that are easy to get, like a DoorDash or an Uber, you know, they're signing up for these. Now they're coming out the woodworks, right? Now they're out in the open. So it's like, oh my gosh, we have an immigration problem. Because why? There's a lot more people on the road doing gig work, which requires you to have a vehicle of some sort to get from point A to point B. So this is an easy job to get. And the news is blasting saying this is an immigration problem, but it's been an immigration problem for even before gig work, before the news started blasting it. That's an immigration problem. You want to know how I know that? Y'all know for how many years did construction workers pick up workers in the Home Depot parking lot? No paper. I'll wait.
New York. I've seen it a lot in New York.
It's not just the news, though, man. I mean, it's also Pedro. It's also, like, why are we here right now, bro? Like, I love you, bro, but like, and just you. Man. I mean, you guys got that. You guys got that ability too. Anybody could talk about what we're talking about. Have different perspectives on a broad spectrum. You know, that's a great thing. You know, like, to me, this is the best we could do is just talk to each other, bro.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, you know, we're all, you know, we're gig workers here, or we did it at some point, and you know, I know it's a topic that a lot of people talk about, and it's hard to know what everybody's perspective is going to be different, and where you live is how you're impacted by it's going to be different. But I just wanted to get you guys' opinion because I know you guys are from all, you know, different backgrounds here, different markets. And I know it's something that a lot of people are thinking about because earnings are down across the board. And now, you know, we have more people doing this work, American or not. Like, at the end of the day, that's still competition. So, you know, curious to know how you guys just kind of look at it. So I appreciate y'all's candor. I think it's good. That's all. Listen, that's all I got for tonight. I really ain't got much else. Dino,
show's over, folks.
Yeah, Dino, I appreciate you coming on. I thought we were going to fight a little bit more, but I'm glad we didn't. You know, it's good. I have a better understanding of your process, and I didn't know you weren't doing it since September. So I applaud you for that, man. You know, I want to give you some credit for coming up, and I appreciate that. Roy, I think he dipped. Maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know. Roy, I'm in the background. Okay, cool. Bud Soda, thank you very much. Gig Bell, Jonathan. Is it AM or AM? What's the name?
AMC. You'll see me soon. I just gotta be quiet for right now. That's it.
Listen, I don't know what that means. You got a mask on. You're saying you're gonna see me soon. I don't know what that means. But.
Oh no, bro. Not like that. I mean like.
Right. He's gonna throw a smoke bomb and disappear.
Oh, got you. Okay. Yeah. I love that.
No, bro. Nah, it's all but love, bro. You're my buddy.
No.
You're my Boricua. You're my Boricua, bro. Puerto Rico forever.
UDM, I appreciate you. And UDM, for you guys that are here, me and him are going to have a convo next week that we got planned. Really looking forward to that. And UDM, appreciate you coming on tonight as well, brother.
I appreciate you allowing me on, man.
Good night, everyone.
Of course. Take care.
I don't want to leave this place.
All right. Good show. Listen, at the last, 30 minutes there, we're just talking about things that are related to us. It's good. I think it's good to have those conversations. You know, we're not going to solve that issue. None of us are in positions to do that. It's you know, don't want to get too political, but it's obviously affecting gig workers because we see people talking about it. We see people making content about it. I see comments, emails, videos. I've talked about it a few times on this channel in the last couple of months. It's a hot topic. It's something that people are being impacted by, whether directly, indirectly, whether, you know, they're, you know, I don't know. You know, it's hard to say, but, you know, it's something that's interesting to me because I think the way I look at it is like, I'm not going to assume something. Now, what I don't like is like some people mention, yeah, like when you don't speak the language, right, and you're going to an establishment and they speak American, you don't, putting the phone, like, that's rude, right? You know, these dashers overall need to do a better job of communicating and installing apps that might be able to translate for you or whatever it is. We have to do a better job overall. We just do. Listen, I see some people that appear to be American to me, white facing, whatever, and they rolled out of bed and do DoorDash. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, we got problems all over the place, regardless of where you're from, how long you've been here. Like, you know, I see it in St. Louis, man. I'm telling you, rolled out of bed, straight pajamas. I mean, chancletas on, toes out, not being rude. I mean, smoking all kinds. Like, it's just weird, right? So I see that all over the place. But special thanks to Dino for coming up. You know, I guess, you know, I think, you know, when I watch other people make content, I also, because I'm a content creator that makes a video every fucking day, okay? I look at it like, how am I being perceived? I'm aware of that. I think about it. Sometimes more than others. I stand by my videos. I'm opinionated. I say what I say. I like to challenge the community. I like to entertain. I like to give you perspective, all wrapped up into one. And sometimes I do it in the same video. Sometimes it's, you know, separate videos. But I look at like, how am I, you know, when I'm going on my rants, when I'm talking about an app like Curry or DoorDash or Uber or Instacart or DeliverThat, how is that message being digested? Am I really doing a negative or a positive for the community in that regard? You know, so when I see other people make videos, I look at like, okay, well, how do I fit into that? What's my perspective? How did that video make me feel as a viewer? Because I'm still a viewer. But mad respect to all the content creators that make the content. So what's great about YouTube is it's your content. It's your perspective, your opinion. We do not, and we should not agree. We should not like everything that we see. You know, it's okay to challenge and question things if it's done out of a level of respect, or I like to acquire knowledge. I try to surround myself with people that have a different perspective, smarter than me. That's the only way that I'm going to grow. I don't want to be, there's an old thing, like if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You guys have heard that. I don't ever want to be the smartest dude in the room, ever. So I will bring people on the channel, in the panels, that can offer something different for you guys and to me that I can't offer myself or offer to you. So, yeah, this week's been good. I'm going to have, man, I don't have a DeliverThat order yet. My phone went off twice today. I went to it and they were gone. Obviously, I didn't have it in my hand. I'm pretty confident I'll probably get one tomorrow morning. I hope at least that I can do. If not, it is what it is. Definitely going to be hitting the streets this week a little bit. My plan is to do a long live on Friday because I have my girl's going to be out of town. I got the house to myself. So I'm like, I got plans for the weekend, but like Friday, I think I'm going all out. My idea is I want to make $400 or $500 on Friday. So I might do an all day live and just gig work all day. Right now, that's what I want to do. Things could change, but I would love to just start in the morning and just hit it. Gas up the tank and a full gas the tank and just make all the money till I hit E. Like work until my gas is gone and then boom, what am I making? You know, I might be doing that on Friday. If you guys, are interested in that, be on the lookout for that. Let me say what's up to some people in the chat real quick. Appreciate all the thumbs up, the super chats that we've had. Appreciate y'all. Let me see what the chat's saying. What up, Brian? John Kneecab, Paris. What's up? Zach, Brian, Sourdough, Eric, Chris Boyd. Always appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being a member, man. Stockwell Badger, Sky Dasher, Paris, Night Watcher. Sounds like I'm saying a bunch of crap. Appreciate that. Appreciate you for subscribing because you got to be a subscriber to comment. So appreciate that very much. Let's see. Yeah, it was a good combo, UDM. It was a good combo. We could have kept that going, but at some point, it was definitely a good combo. I like to talk about things that are gig adjacent, that are still impacting us, but then are even broader, that are more like, okay, what about, life and just perspective on things. And I always enjoy that. Oversaturation. Jada Driver, what's up, man? How you doing? Love Handles. Pete Leeds. Just trying to say what's up to some people I didn't mention earlier. This is fine. Appreciate that. Alonzo S. What's up? What's up? So yeah, I mean that's where I'm at this week. What up, Vaughn? How you doing, man? Got my first $150 gratuity on DeliverThat Friday. Ooh, dang, that's nice, bro. 150 piece. Woo! I'm sure one day. I mean, I'm sure as I make my way through that app and I learn it and become good for that app, and they recognize I can take the pictures and I can communicate and I'm on time and my merchant, communication is good. I would love to get a 150 piece, man. That's fantastic. What up, Nick? How you doing, man? So that's kind of the live tonight. I think for me, DoorDash ain't dead. It's just different. And I'm gonna always give you guys my perspective. And I've always been pretty fair with DoorDash as far as if it's something bad, I talk about it and I'll throw them under the bus and kick them on the way. If it's something I think's good for the community of drivers and maybe some of us are missing it, I'll share that. I think the Dash preferences is really good. I think last year when they added that a customer could tip after delivery, additional, that's great. Like not enough of us talk about that. I get those every week, guys. So I think when they do something good, I'm gonna talk about it. If they do something bad, I'm gonna talk about it. As I have more communication with the DoorDash team, I'll report things to you guys. She said she has something for me in a couple of months. I don't know what that's about. I can theorize, but I guess I'll just wait. But that's the show. If you guys got value from this, hit the thumbs up. 2-hour show. I think it's a good way to end it. Appreciate all the panelists for coming up. Next week, UDM will be on. We're going to have a conversation about, we'll get into the catering stuff, what he thinks is coming even next year, his perspective on the catering on DoorDash going away, DeliverThat, like just what he's seeing, his opinions on it, his perspective. He's been doing a DeliverThat app for a while now. I've only done 6 runs, so we'll talk about that app as well a little bit. It'll be good. It'll be a great conversation. So be ready for that next week. I don't think I have anything else different this week besides the possible Friday extra long day live. I don't know. And listen, don't hold my feet to the fire because if something else happens and I just don't want to do it, I won't do it. But my plan right now is to do that content because I'm not going to have anything else to do. So I could plan something though on that mic. So it is what it is. For the few of you that are watching now, you're getting a sneak peek. Definitely go check out yesterday's video. We talked about the Dasher preferences. Let me know if it's in your market. Leave a comment. If you're watching on the replay, let me know in the comment section down below. Appreciate all of you guys very much. I'll see you guys next Sunday.